I want to go across to Abhishek. On the bottom of your screen, we'll put out the turnout so far. And these are turnout numbers till 5 p.m. We don't have the updated numbers. Abhishek, Uttar Pradesh, 2 to 3% lesser until 5 p.m. Punjab, much lower. Now, only few seats have crossed the 2017 mark in both these states. What do the numbers suggest, and should we wait for the updated numbers to get a clearer picture? Abhishek first. Let's put up the numbers on the screens as well.
Niranjan, you know, as I understand, Niranjan, of course, it was a big day in Uttar Pradesh also, with the fate of Akhilesh Yadav also getting sealed in the EVMs in Karhal constituency, and that of his uncle in Jawahar Nagar nearby, Jaswant Nagar, beg your pardon, nearby. But my understanding is increase in voting percentage typically is about change. And little less voter percentage means, as compared to last time, means that maybe people want things to continue. So whether they want things to continue in UP and they want things to continue in Punjab, because remember, we also had Navjot Singh Sidhu in a bite earlier in the day, sound bite after having voted, said that Badlav ki hawa hai. So I mean, it was difficult to decipher whether he was actually wanting Congress government, of which he is a part, or the party of which is in power in Punjab, to make way for some other formation. So, I mean, that is something which needs to be deciphered. These are early numbers. Final tally comes at around 738. But as my understanding of having observed polling over the last decade and more is that if there is massive increase in voting percentage, that could perhaps indicate towards possibility of a change of government. But if it's a little less or equal, then maybe continuity is something that you can look forward to. So I think that's how I would see the numbers. And constituency-wise, if you go, Niranjan, I can tell you that Karhal, for example, because of the Akhilesh factor, has shown a certain increase in Uttar Pradesh. Then there are important seats, for example, Kanpur Nagar, which has shown a certain increase, just about 0.6% increase in voting. I'm giving you numbers till 5 p.m. compared to what those were by 5 p.m. in 2017, 5 years ago. So Firozabad, for example, showing a dip of 4%, Etah showing a marginal increase, and similarly for other numbers or other seats. But as I said, Niranjan, if it's similar or just little more, little less, then perhaps people have voted along the pattern of last election. And if the number increases overwhelmingly in terms of voting percentage, then there is possibility of change. The reason why psephologists say so is, Niranjan, that if there is massive increase in polling percentage, it means that the other side has also been able to mobilize its vote bank. So I think that is the basic interpretation. But for more, you can actually go to our in-house psephologist and interpreter of caste dynamics on the ground, Prakash Singh, Niranjan.
Well, I don't know whether you're pulling his leg or he's going to pull yours, but both Abhishek and Prakash, our senior-most reporters in the Republic Media Network, Abhishek has been covering Uttar Pradesh and knows Uttar Pradesh inside out, not just because he's sitting in Uttar Pradesh, but because he's been a reporter for over 2 decades. Prakash himself a reporter from Bihar, but knows Uttar Pradesh and the entire Hindi belt inside out. Okay, Prakash, straight to you. The Prime Minister made that remark. That's the biggest talking point. We're also debating it. They've made it the subject. Prakash, you've been on the ground. We were talking about it earlier. Do these controversies translate to some change on the ground, Prakash? Some consolidation, polarization? We know UP is all about that.
Well, as far as the numbers are concerned, we'll have to look at the perception on the ground and the reality on the ground. Now, if we look at 2017, then Narendra Modi was the face of UP elections. And today, Yogi Adityanath has emerged as a bigger brand under the plank of law and order being the most talked about point in these elections, and also development. And he has emerged as a bigger brand, and together Modi and Yogi combined is a deadly combination, and it can decimate any powerhouse coalition. I can say that for sure after covering 3 phases of UP elections. Now, coming back to the point, what is the reality on the ground? In Karhal, we saw that there was aggressive voting because there were 2 blocks in Karhal. One was Karhal and the second was Sihora, where there was consolidation of non-Yadav OBC vote bank, because I spoke to, that's what I do every elections, because elections is all about caste all across the country. Even if you go to Karnataka, South India, anywhere in the country, it is all about caste arithmetic as well as developmental plan. Here, the non-Yadav OBC vote bank, which forms the largest chunk in Uttar Pradesh, is voting in a consolidated manner for the BJP, and that is the telling point, and that is the news point of this entire election. And if it was in Karhal, then I've been saying it since throughout the day, that it can have a stronger resonance throughout UP, even with a stronger impact, and that can swing it in favor of the BJP in a massive way, because the upper caste, the OBCs, as well as the consolidation of other castes. And here you have in the Samajwadi Party bouquet, the Muslim Yadav consolidating in a large number. And if that is the case in point in Karhal, then it can be a laboratory for the entire UP elections, and we can foresee what can happen in UP elections on 10th March for sure. Now, coming back to the point, what is happening is that apart from this caste arithmetic, law and order is the most talked point. If you talk to any caste in the OBC, whether it be the Sakya, the Kashyaps in the Western UP, the Garedias, anybody, they are talking about law and order. Even the people who are not voting for Yogi are talking about law and order. So development is the plank, law and order is the plan, and for especially people in Bihar and UP, law and order is the most talked point, and security of women. Because we have seen how Nitish Kumar was voted to power in 2010 on the issue of law and order, and he got a thumping 2/3 majority. So I see no reason that I can say it with confidence now that there is a silent wave for Yogi Adityanath, and the floating voter will slowly and gradually convert into hardcore vote for the BJP, because they are the silent voters. And the other voters in UP, it's very beautiful that the voters speak for themselves which party they have voted for. So back to you.
Yeah, Prakash, but you asked the Samajwadi Party, and they say that, one of the panelists said that the reason why people are not coming out to the booths, he used a phrase, they say, Koko le gaye. They said the votes are all going towards the Samajwadi Party and the BJP is not getting anything. They are confident that in the first phase and the second phase itself, and with this phase, they've already crossed 100 seats. Now, that's the confidence of the Samajwadi Party. I don't know where they're getting it from, but here's what the Prime Minister said, putting them on the mat on this big controversy that's broken out in the last 72 hours. A story that actually Abhishek Kapoor broke 2 days back, talking about what the verdict said in the 2008 Ahmedabad blast. That's become the biggest talking point, because the court in its verdict says that the real plot may have been to target the Prime Minister. A story that's gone completely out of hand politically.